So we are at Marshall and we are having a wonderful day. It's beautiful here, like 80. It's oh my gosh, and just a slight breeze. It's wonderful. Say hi, Mom. Hi. We have sold a lot. I'm gonna have a lot of work to do, you guys. As fast as I can make something, we're selling it. So it's a good day. Hi guys. So I didn't get to film. Go figure, right? Market days always seem to go by really, really fast or really slow, and I'm not really sure there's an in between. But yesterday, because technically it is July 18th now, yesterday was my birthday. We spent the day in Marshall, Minnesota, which is where we were for Pride also. We were at downtown Marshall, Minnesota for Crazy Days. I don't know if it's a Midwest thing. I think I mentioned this before, but around my birthday every year, like the town I grew up in had Crazy Days downtown. It was a big thing. All the stores had outside tables with discounted merchandise and big sales, right? And I don't even know if they still do that, but they even did it out at the mall at one point. Again, malls are dead. Downtowns, some of them are dead, but this one was not. So they had outside vendors come in along with the stores down on Main Street in Marshall. We left the hotel at 5:20, got there at 5:30. We figured Mom and we needed more than an hour, so they were closing downtown at 6 a.m. and we figured, well, we'll get there early and we knew where to park. We knew where we were going to be at. So, because we had scoped it out the night before. So we went and we just started pulling everything out of the car and putting it on the sidewalk. And by the time the event planner was there to tell us, yes, we were in the right spot, we had everything out of the car. I went and parked the car, and then we set up the tent, and yeah, it just gave us that extra 20 minutes that we kind of needed. We were supposed to be ready by 7 a.m. because that's when people could start coming in. It wasn't really busy or people until closer to 10. But we had people, and there was people, and it was nice. It was a steady flow of traffic, and let me tell you guys, this was the best market yet. So I don't know if you can see, but I'm like smiling ear to ear. It was a great day, and believe it or not, I was outside in pants. I had my sweater on at one point for most of the day, actually. 69 degrees. Most of that was not cloudy until the very end. We were under a tree or by a tree, so we did have shade, but the temperature, even in the sun, was only up to 70 today in July. In July, on my birthday, in July, is crazy to have it at 69 degrees. That is just it's not normal, but it was a beautiful day. We had a slight breeze. We didn't burn, we didn't fry, it wasn't exhausting. So that being said, it was just great. So I'm going to go over my sales with you. I will let you know what Mom sold first, because Mom and I do this together, and part of that is to keep her busy and to keep us getting stuff going and moving. Yeah, it was just a great day. It was lots of different things, and I'll try to recap some stories, but so we'll go over what Mom sold first, and then we'll go from there. So Mom took her first PayPal payment. Good job. She's learning. She sold, let's see, 3 different magnets for $3 each. A cat toy, a gnome, and a kid's bracelet. So the gnome and the bracelet, she's got $18 total down. 2 for $5 magnets, another cat toy, and then 2 more $3 magnets. So you could either get 1 for $3 or 2 for $5. And then she sold 2 gnomes and 2 magnets Vikings and Packers. So she had little gnomes like this and the magnet board, which you might have seen in the previous video. If you didn't watch it, go back and watch. For some reason, I think YouTube has cut my, I don't know, I've went from 130 to 30. So I don't know what happened in the last couple videos, but hopefully you guys will stay and watch until the end. I appreciate that, or share it out. I would really, really appreciate that also. That helps tremendously. So she came out with a total of $69. Our booth fee was $75. We did have to pay for a hotel. Mom did get that expense. But then, so yeah, I mean, we worked that stuff out in the background. So, and the hotel we stayed at was Super 8. It's actually very nice. And they had coffee ready for us at 5:20 when we tried to leave this morning. So that was great. Took that with us. All right. So here we go. You guys, you know, if you've seen if you go back and watch my previous video, I was already low on inventory. So I tried to get a video done beforehand and it just didn't. I ran out of time. But I ended up getting 3 stingrays done, 3 whales, another axolotl, a pink and like coral color. I got 3 elephants done, 2 gray and 1 pink. I got can't remember what else was in there. Turtles. I got I think 3 turtles also. And I used the red, white, and boom color, or red, blue, and boom color from Red Hearts, or from Bernat Blanket, to make some of those. So I had like this pink and coral and then like a red, white, and blue kind of colors. I'm trying to remember if I made anything else. I know I brought like a small tote worth of stuff, but it is what I got done. So unfortunately, I did get a small clip of Mom and I just really excited, and I'll probably put that before this. So stay tuned, I guess. Hopefully you've stayed on this long. All right, so I sold. First customer bought the mushroom pop-up boy, and that was I've only made 2. I even made one at the market today, and I sold it as soon as I made it. I had it for 8 and I bumped it up to 10, and one sold at 8 today and one sold at 10. I was like, I got to charge more because this is taking more time than a lot of the other stuff I made. So a mushroom keychain and the mushroom pop-up boy and a stingray. So that was $20 total. The little weighted turtle I had, that was $12. Another stingray, 2 turtles and a scrunchie, another stingray, and I charged $7 for those stingrays. A snake, the rainbow snake, I can't say it, snake that I had. I've had those for a while. That finally sold. A $5 whale sold. And those whales, you guys, if you haven't done that pattern, super easy. Tutorial on YouTube, and it's like 5 rounds, and then you close off with the second color on the bottom. Super easy. And so one $5 whale, and then I sold 2 to somebody else. Another one after that. So they were very popular. I had like, I think 12 to start with, and I think I only have 5 left. I sold the axolotl. I made I had 1 pink left, and then I had a coral one. So I sold an axolotl there. The dinosaur chicken nugget T-Rex, I sold that. Now that was a pattern I did not get to tell you guys about last video. I got the free pattern off of Instagram. It's cute. People like it, but it's a lot of damn work. There is, so each leg, you have a tail, 2 feet, and a head. The 2 feet are separate things. The tail's the separate. So there's like, there's so many separate pieces, and Yeah, and it turned out big, like this big, you know, like your little chicken nuggets like this big, but the dinosaur ones were this big. And I used um Big Twist plush, which is the first time that was the only Big Twist plush I've ever used, and it's in that golden like chicken nugget color. Um for the time and the effort, I had $8 on them. I feel like I'd have to charge more because they're just a lot. There's so many pieces, and you have to make sure that they're not gapping when you do them all together. You know, like when you're doing a standing figure and you start with one leg and then you start with the second and then you join the two together and go up. That's kind of the concept. And then she adds the tail and decreases, you know, and then finally you get to the headpiece. Uh, Lots of pieces. I don't know that it's worth the effort, but they are cute and kids recognize them. So maybe in an acrylic yarn, it wouldn't be such a big deal, but with the Bernat, like the blanket yarns, it's thicker. It's harder to work with, especially with those small rounds, like 5 or 6 stitches. It's really just cumbersome. But anyway, that sold. So, I sold a regular chicken nugget. I sold the turtle. I had the great big pink turtles. Again, you've probably seen pictures of those if you've seen the other videos. I had 2 big pink turtles. This one sold with a $5 chicken. Another axolotl sold. So I had 2 and both sold out. Finally sold a pickle. The emotional support pickles. You guys. I'm like, people would look at the jar and they would like, you know, before they would look at the jar and then they would just be like, oh, that's cute. And they'd take it out and look at it, whatever. I think I sold 1 before. I had 4 when I started today. So I sold 1. I said, you can open it up and pick out what you know, look at them, see if you like them. They're super soft. You know, you can look at the sayings and different things. Oh, they got sayings. So they were super excited about that. So that sold. Okay. So here's here's where it starts to get very, whoo. So I would start on something, and as soon as I got it finished, it would sell. And as soon as I got it finished, it would sell. And as soon as I got it finished, it would sell. So we sold all that stuff, and then I had just finished another mushroom boy because I had sold the last one. So I made another one, and as soon as I put it out and I showed it popped up and down, that sold. So I sold that for 10. An elephant sold. A pickle, another pickle sold. A chicken nugget, the bee keychain for 5. Those were all 5. A small little baby turtle for 5. Another pickle. You guessed it, another pickle. So all 4 pickles were gone. Well, the person that bought the last pickle decided they wanted another one, and could I make another one? I'm like, I can make one. I think it was about 1 or 2 o'clock, and I'm like, yeah, I can get that done. If you want to come back in, 15, 20 minutes. I think I had already started on one because Mom's like, you need to make them. You need to make them. And so, so I started making another one. The ice cream sold, the large ice cream. It was a tutorial off of YouTube that sold. The second $25 turtle, pink turtle sold. Another whale, another $5 turtle, a stingray. Again, those were $7. A whale, a turtle, and a stingray for $25. The large dinosaur, the Timothy the T-Rex, smaller version that was done by another YouTuber. Originally it was Blue Phone Studios. So that dinosaur sold for $22. That was in the speckled yarn and the dark blue color. The Pop-Tart sold, and a pickle. So the lady that came back to get the pickle, her son also got the Pop-Tart because they decided they wanted that. So instead of making just $8 more, I made $16 more by working on that at the thing. I sold the loaf cat. The loaf cat sat there all day. Nothing. All day. Just sat there. And I'm like, man, I really need to sell a love cat. And I sold a love cat. I sold the little brown dog out of the Dollar Tree yarn. That sold. I sold the last Pop-Tart. So there's no more Pop-Tarts left. I sold another turtle and another bee. That was my last bee keychain, so I'm out of bee keychains. And then, so in between that, as I was making another pickle, somebody realized that the pickle jar was empty. So like, I need an emotional support pickle. Can you make another one? And they, I mean, just like, can you make another one? Like these. So, yeah, you guys, I think I made 4, maybe 5 while I was sitting there. Now, granted, I had started working on making objects starting at like 8:30, and I had made everything, kept making until 5:30. Like, I took a break to pee and came back and started at it again, because as soon as I put it out, it sold. It was Mom and I were laughing and just be like, are you serious? Like, another one? But I made 3 turtles while I was there too. So I had parts and pieces of a turtle, and I finished that while I was there. The night before, I finished 2 mushroom keychain pops and a strawberry. So I had that to add to inventory, and then I sold my last little $5 chicken. So, oh, and an elephant. Oh, the last family that came in got an elephant, banana. Oh, that's what's missing. That's what is missing off of here. Mom and I were trying to keep track of everything, and that must be, anyway, a $12, we sold both bananas for $12. So we were trying to think if we had not written down a pickle, and I think the discrepancy is the banana, because I had 2 bananas, and I'm really excited to make some more bananas. And we have this 4-day market coming up. It is what they call the Turner County Fair. It's in Parker, South Dakota. And from what I can tell, they have 60 to 80,000 people go through. Now, that's a random number. I have never been, honestly, so I don't know for sure, but I have a feeling that I have a lot of work to do. And I only have 1 bag of stuff. So my hands are going to be like lightning, flying like lightning. And even with Mom's stuff, I mean, she was selling some things, but $69 compared to $473. The crochet was a hit. It was a hit, and I think if I had different things or more of certain items, I definitely would have sold them. There's things like unicorns and like more axolotls for sure. Those would have sold. I only had 1 swinging pet that did not sell, but it was in pink. Again, the $5 items were a big hit. Parents came up. They could, if they had multiple kids, you could grab multiple things. The $8 price point was a good one too. They didn't seem to mind that at all. Yeah, and these kids were just super excited about the mushroom pops. So any of the fidget toys, they really liked those. And then the hair scrunchies, I guess, I don't know if you guys sell hair scrunchies. Do you just put them all in a bin, or do you put them in like the cardboard and like wrap them around, have them like specially packaged? I think I sold 1 or 2 in the last 2 markets. So I don't know if I should market them differently. People pick them up and they're super soft, but they didn't. So I have the stuff I have left. I have the mole. That's an acrylic mole. So acrylic meaning not the plush yarn, not the burnout blanket. I have an acrylic turtle. That was the green turtle with the rainbow striping that I held two strands together. And I have the two caterpillars and the bee. So those, I don't know if the price point is too high. I have, I think 30 on each. But the amount of work that goes into those, I really think that 30 is a good price point for them. You just have to have the right person to do it. There's a ton more work that goes into those caterpillars, those articulated things by All from Jade, than a loaf cat that I'm getting $20 for. So yeah, I think I got to keep it at that price point for now anyway. But those are still there. I still have my little fuzzy monster, my little loaf dog. I think I might just put him in a mystery box or maybe donate him to the Garfield make along. Might be the best place for it because it's odd. I have my white puppy. Again, that's odd. People pick it up, but they think it's a they think it's a lamb. I was just trying to use up leftover yarn with that black speckled yarn for the ears and the face, but the rest of the body is that off vintage white, and so he hasn't gotten sold yet. My leggy frogs, I don't know that I've sold a leggy frog. Maybe one or two, but at least maybe in the colors I have, that they're just not going. I do have a really bright, pretty green one. It just hasn't sold yet. So I have 3 of those. I have some washcloths. I have 3 crochet bowl cozies. Don't do that. Don't waste your time in making that unless it's something you're going to give away. I put $10 on each because there's a lot of time in a bowl cozy. Like it's single crochet in a cotton yarn, and it's that deep, and it's a lot of stitches. So, and they don't look at it for the price point for $10. Because you can get a sewn one, I'm sure, for $5 or less, and it takes somebody that's sewing a bowl cozy or a hot, the hot pad soup bowl cozies to keep your hands cool, or not getting burnt. A sewn one takes somebody not that long. For me, it's going to take me at least an hour just to do one. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend making those at a crochet. Even though you can, I wouldn't do it I'd do it for a gift, but not to sell. At least, I don't know. Maybe you guys can give me some advice, but I do have those Sesame Street washcloths. Somebody's going to get those. Somebody, someday will get those. I'm just trying to think. I'm looking. I have the strawberry keychain left. An octopus keychain left. The Stanley tumblers. So I sold one Saturday, but not one today. And so there's 4 of those left. The one mushroom is still left, I think. Maybe not. Yeah, so I think that's all. There's not much. There's not much at all. The loaf cats. Oh, the Christmas color chicken in acrylic, a loaf cat in acrylic in the Christmas colors, the red and the green, and a loaf cat in purple. And I don't know if it's because it's got the cartoon eyes, the really like the oval cartoon eyes. So those were there. I mentioned the bee, the big articulated bee, that's still left. So that's what's left. There's not a lot left. I need to make stuff that will sell. The swinging pets sell, so I need to do that. I did buy mystery boxes from Amazon. I plan on getting all that ready. So I have less than a month. We have a family vacation. Not next weekend, but the weekend after, for I think it's like Sunday through Wednesday. Last year we went to Jellystone Park here, which is a Yogi Bear, Boo Boo, Cindy, that kind of a thing. And we stay in a cabin because we don't have a camper or an RV or whatever. So we stay in a cabin 3 days. They have a swimming area. They have a bouncy, like this huge bouncy thing that you can go on. It's like filled with air, but it's like huge, like I don't even know how to describe it. But that they have a little miniature golf thing that's free that they can do. There's other activities like painting. So planning doing 3 days of that. I don't know if I'll bring crochet with me, but I'm also diligently trying to get our storage unit, one of our storage units, emptied because it's just costing us extra money that we don't have. And so I'm trying to balance the time in between doing crochet and doing house and kids and then getting that unit processed. So wish me luck. And the first day of school is August 21st. Yeah, there's more on that I'll go into maybe in another video, but man, am I going to be driving all over town because I made a mistake. Yay! Yeah. Anyway, we won't go into that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry for the last little bit of rambling. If you're still watching, leave me some prayer hands in the comments down below. I'd appreciate it if you comment. That'd be great. Again, if you feel the need or the want or the will, please keep my mom in your prayers. Again, she's still not really sleeping. Nights are very, very hard for her, and her knees have been hurting. She's had shots in her knees, and she's had chiropractors, and they're just really, really bothering her. And other than that, she can't sleep anyway because she misses my dad. And nights are hard, and grieving is hard. And even though we keep each other busy, it's just been hard on her. So please, if you have a moment and you want to say a prayer for her, I would really appreciate it. So again, if you're still watching at this point, leave a prayer hands in the comments down below. It was a wonderful birthday. The weather was super fantastic. Yeah, it just happened to go our way. We didn't really eat the whole entire time of the show. We had brought snacks. I had drinks. I had pork rinds with me, so I had that. I didn't even eat the whole bag of pork rinds. I was so busy with my hands that I didn't have time to eat. We did go eat afterwards, so we enjoyed that. Yeah, and then we didn't get home until it was 1 a.m. I'm not even sure what time it is right now, but it's late. And the kids were still up. Gosh, they're going to have a rude awakening when they have to be getting up at 6 a.m. again. So am I. But lots of work to do. I hope you guys are having good markets out there. If you are, I really hope it's working out for you. This is going to go to pay a lot of bills that we have upcoming. It's definitely going to get some groceries that are much needed. Yeah, so I would say at least half of that is gone. At least half of that is gone to bills that are due this week. So I'm very fortunate that we have this. So like, I can't tell you how blessed I am that the city of Marshall had this event and it turned out, and the weather turned out great, and we were able to meet all these really super nice people. They were so kind. So the event coordinators were kind too, and they came by and asked if we needed anything, and so that all turned out really great. And we liked our spot. It was by the food trucks, and so it just happened. It was a good spot. We did ask if we could have the same spot next year, so she said absolutely. So I mean, we'll see how that works out. But anyway, I could ramble on for days. I hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy each other, enjoy your family, give them hugs, let them know you love them. I hope you have a good day. Bye, guys.